Good evening, champions. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing super fine. And welcome to the training. Welcome to our very, very final week of the professional networker training. It has been an amazing 6 weeks. I know it took us like probably 8 or 9 weeks to go through the 6 weeks trainings, as we missed some of the days. We changed the content on some of the days, but all in all, it's all for the best reasons. It's all to make sure that we don't leave out anything. So I am excited as we are finalizing today our journey of 6 weeks, and I hope and pray that we've been implementing all the ideas that we've been sharing throughout these 6 weeks. It has been nice, it has been exciting, and just by commenting there on the chat, who has attended all the 6 trainings, meaning has not missed even a single one. If anyone has managed to attend all the trainings, can you please put your name there on the chat? We want to recognize you. We want to applaud you. We want to congratulate you. So if you know you have not missed any of the weeks, let us see your name there on the chat, and would like to recognize you. Okay. Let me see if the chat is on. Yep, the chat is on. Yep, you can send in. All right, so who has attended all the 6 trainings? 5 trainings basically, because today is the 6th one. So if you've attended the past 5 trainings, please put in your name there. We just want to recognize you and congratulate you. And who knows, when I'm in your country, I might bring something for you. So let us see your name there. If you attended all the past 5 trainings and this is the 6th and the last one, let us see your name there. Let us see your name there. No one? No one has attended all the 6 trainings? Is it? Should we redo them? No, we're not gonna redo them. Or are you unable to send a text on the chat? So no one has attended all the 6 trainings. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Okay, I see one person here. Okay, Maria Lungu, congratulations. I'm taking note of your name, and please send me a message on WhatsApp as well so that I get your number. So we have Maria Lungu, okay. If there's anybody else who attended all the 6 trainings, oh, Shani Singh was not part of Forever when the first session started. Wow, congratulations. Welcome to the business. Welcome to the family. And we're excited to have you here. And definitely you can access all the previous trainings on my YouTube channel. So feel free to go through them. If you fail anywhere, you can check with me. You can check with your upline so that we can make sure that you get everything that you deserve to get. So that's great. That's exciting. That's awesome. Okay. All right then. Let's move on now. Let's continue. Let's move on. And we are on to week 6 today, which is the very last training of the series. And week 5 we talked about prospecting messages. I mentioned some of the tips that I use. And we also encouraged everyone to create their 1-minute story. Even if it cannot be on a video, it can be on an audio, or at least you should have it in your mind, a way for you to share your story within 1 minute. Because there will be a number of times where you will need to give a short brief of your story, and then the 1-minute story will definitely come in handy. So congratulations for anyone that did it. I'm unable to follow up on everyone here to make sure that you've done it, but I hope and pray that you've done it. So let's go to week 6. Week 6, we're gonna see the bigger picture of Forever. Just a recap, what we've been doing on the past 5 weeks, we have been going through the 8 steps of building a forever business, the 8 steps. So we've gone through the contact list, we've gone through how to contact people, we've gone through how to actually do the presentation, the one-on-one presentation, we've gone through inviting, we've gone through planning with someone, and now we are on to a part which is crucial, which is the final part, but yet it is the foundation of everything else, which is the incentives. Very, very crucial and very important that we understand the forever incentive, so that we are not just working towards the end month bonus. No, we work towards the qualifying for the incentives, because that eventually will ensure that you'll make the biggest income if you're going for the incentives. And then we're going to talk about volume mapping, which is a very, very vital skill. And we're going to also talk about the habits of a leader in forever. Leadership in forever is a little bit different from leadership in the corporate, leadership in the church. It's a little bit different. So we're going to be talking about those habits, and I will be chipping in some of the things that I've personally helped me in growing myself to become a leader, but also growing leaders in my team. So let us go straight and talk about the incentives. You know, at the end of the day, the final thing that you want to be working towards in forever is qualifying for incentives. If I am to give an advice, guys, if you really want to maximize on forever, whether it's through the income, or it's through the lifestyle, or it's through the residual income, or it is through gem, anything, you have to focus on the incentives. So as you're building your business so that it gets to a point where every year you qualify for incentives, every year you qualify for all the major incentives, which we're going to talk about today. So it's crucial, and it's very, very important to make sure that you don't miss out on qualifying for the incentives. And in order for you to qualify for incentives, you need to focus on doing the basics, which are using the products, marketing the opportunity, and through marketing the opportunity, recruit people. And then when you coach them to do the same thing, basically when you duplicate yourself through others, you will start to qualify for incentives. And when you talk about incentives will definitely add up a huge income into your business. And one of the key incentives that we need to learn about and focus on is Forever to Drive. Forever to Drive. And for the new people that are in the business, there are 3 levels of Forever to Drive. There's level 1, level 2, and 3. And when you qualify for Forever to Drive, you are entitled to get up to, if you're on level 1, it's up to $400 every month for the next 3 years. If it's level 2, it's $600 every month. Remember, this is on top of the bonus that is generated by the CCs or the volume that's done by your team. This is on top of that. So if with your team, you've got a bonus of $1,000, and if you're on level 1, then your bonus is going to be $1,400. So Forever to Drive, globally, it is mainly used for people to buy cars, but you know, in most of our African countries, we want the money. So we take the money as it is, and we can buy plots, you can build a house. Because imagine if you're on level 3, you have an $800 every month for the next 3 years. I mean, that's some good amount of money. That's a serious income right there. So you can definitely plan your business so that you can qualify for Forever to Drive. And one thing that I want to make you very, very much aware of is all the incentives in Forever will require you to be a manager. You cannot qualify for Forever to Drive if you're not a manager. You cannot qualify for all the other incentives that we'll be talking about if you're not a manager. And Forever to Drive is one of the requirements for someone to achieve chairman's bonus. So if you want to get a check one day, if you want one day to have that big check, it can start small. My first check was $6,000. My biggest check was $310,000, which was crazy and huge. You know, that was 2015 in Singapore. You know, after being accommodated at one of the best hotels in Singapore, and you go back home with an extra $310,000. So if you want to get to qualify for chairman's bonus, you have to qualify for Forever to Drive. And if you're brand new in the business, you might not know right now how to qualify for these incentives. Now, just because you don't know how to go about them doesn't mean you shouldn't have them on your goals. Have them on your goals. And then you can plan with your upline, you can plan with your manager, you can even plan with me on how you can actually qualify for Forever to Drive. So you might put it in your plan, like let's say you want 2021 to qualify for Forever to Drive. Maybe you want by 2021, this is September 2021, for you to qualify for Forever to Drive. So you can plan like that, and definitely you can be able to smash them. Now we have the most important incentive, and I'm going to say that again. The most important incentive in Forever is Ego Manager. This is the most important incentive in Forever, Ego Manager. And one day Rex he'd given us an advice on if someone wants to maximize in Forever, if you want to build a big and a long-term business, you have to focus on Ego Manager. Apart from the trip that you're going to get, as a matter of fact, the trip is like, okay, it's something amazing, and we have a ton of fun, because Forever normally takes us to some very exotic places. With the exception of this year, sadly, we could not have the trip. There could not be Bahamas, there could not be Pattaya. It was sad. I totally understand, and I feel for all the egos that could not travel. But all in all, Ego Manager is there to help you, first of all, make an income. Normally, Ego managers make at least, they make about twice more money than a normal manager does. An Ego manager will almost always make about twice more money than a normal manager does. So go for Ego Manager, first and foremost for the money, but also go for the Ego Manager, because after you qualify for Ego Manager, it means you've built a strong business. It means you've built new people in your team. It also means that when you have a team of managers that are also going for Ego Manager, you will have a crazily big residual income. So go for Ego Manager. You know, plan on how you can achieve Ego Manager, and you can do it. You can start right now and plan on how you can achieve the next Ego Manager, because Ego Manager begins in May. So May next year, if it's a bit too late for you to go for Ego Manager this year, then you can think about how you can qualify for Ego Manager next year. Let's say you are an assistant supervisor today. I'm going to give an example. If you're an assistant supervisor, and then you decide that next year you want to be an Ego Manager, is it possible? You can bet it is possible. And I want you to write down these figures I'm mentioning. So you can put a plan. September, how many CCs do you want to do in September? If you're an assistant supervisor, you have no team, I encourage you and I challenge you to go for 5 CCs. So do 5 CCs in September. And on those 5 CCs, challenge yourself to recruit at least 1 or 2 people. And then come October, you go for 10 CCs. Why will it be possible for you to do 10 CCs in October? Because you will maintain your 5, and of the 2 people that you recruited in September, 1 of them can go for their 5 CC. If you don't reach 10, let's say you end at 7, it is still good enough. And then November, you go for 15 CCs. That means by November, you would have achieved your supervisor position and you have done 15 CCs. December is a very exciting month. And if you plan it well, using the Christmas hampers, you can make some crazy retailing. So you can go for 20 CCs in December. And then come January, you push yourself. January, you go for 30 CCs. Just write down those figures. And then February, you go for 45 CCs. And then March, you go for 55 CC, and that makes you a manager by March. So if you finished your manager by March, even if you sleep one of the month, and let's say you finish your manager by April, it will still be fantastic, because by the time we hit May 2021, which sounds like it's very far, but I'm telling you, time flies. By May 2021, you are already structured for you to become an Ego Manager. So you can plan to qualify for Ego Manager, because it is the most important incentive. And we will be talking more on how we can qualify these for these incentives, the figures, exactly how to go about it. Next week, we'll have a training on that. So for now, I want you to just put it in your plans and your goals. And if you follow the CC mapping that I've shared with you, it is possible. And what about the global rally? Yes, we missed Singapore this year. I mean, not Singapore, we missed Sydney, Australia this year. But next year, we're going again to Sydney, Australia. And if you don't know, you know, Forever has also given people an opportunity to qualify for the global rally at lower levels. you can qualify for Global Rally with 500 cc's or 750 cc's or 1000 cc's. So if you cannot do the 1500, think about 750, think about 500, because you have an option and you will get some of the qualifications. You get a goodie bag, some of the qualification, you get accommodation plus the free rally ticket. If you go for 1000 and if you have a massive number of new, you can even get a free ticket. That means you'll be treated like someone that has done actually 1500 cc. So let us plan on how we can qualify for Global Rally. And the thing about Global Rally is when you plan it well, what you will realize is it will reach a point where every year the qualification for Global Rally becomes automatic. You won't really have to push, you won't really have to work on it. It becomes automatic. And when it becomes automatic, it's an amazing feeling knowing that every year, without even sweating for it, I have at least one fully paid vacation every year for 2. That's amazing. And let's end with the biggest of all, the chairman's bonus. Chairman's bonus is the topmost incentive in Forever. You know, I mentioned that if you want to maximize on Forever, you have to go for incentives. Now, if you want to make the biggest money in Forever, you have to go for chairman's bonus. And if you want to be more precise, and I want you to write this down and I can help you plan for it, go for chairman's bonus level 2. Plan to achieve chairman's bonus level 2. If it's going to take you 2 years, it's going to take you 3 years, if it's going to take you 4 years, it doesn't matter. But plan to achieve chairman's bonus level 2. With chairman's bonus level 2, you will have a check of not less than $50,000. $50,000 is a chairman's bonus check, separate from your monthly bonuses, separate from all the big profit that you make with the products. That's just amazing. And all that is in store for us. All that is there waiting for us. We all just need to do our part. We all just need to push a little bit more to get to these incentives. And one thing about incentives is if you don't plan for them, every year you'll be struggling to achieve the incentives. And every year you might find yourself missing out on the incentives, or you might find yourself qualifying this year and missing the next one. But if you plan it well, you could be qualifying for these incentives. And if you are fully focused, laser focused on the incentives, you could be qualifying for these incentives each and every year. So let's go for the incentives, guys, because that's where the cream of Forever is. That's where you will get to really see how amazing Forever Living Products is. Now, in order to achieve all of that, we need to learn how to map our steps. We need to learn how to plan our business on monthly basis. You know, you can't have a good year if you don't have good months. And you can't have a good month if you don't have good weeks. So one major thing that we all need to do, anyone that's trying to achieve anything of value in Forever, as soon as we close the month, the first thing you need to do is to prepare your volume mapping. And a volume map is nothing more than simply a picture or a plan of where your CCs will come from. You need to know who are the people in my team, who are the people that I'm going to be working with in this month, how many CCs am I expecting from each of the people that I'm planning my business with. You have to have that map. And we normally call it drawing circles, because we prefer drawing it in circles. You start with yourself, and then you with the team, you break it down there, and then you start to put in the figures. And it's very, very important for you to do volume mapping, because if you don't do volume mapping, it means you don't know what is possible. You can't really have concrete goals if you have not done volume mapping. It's impossible. But also through the volume mapping is where you get to see the real potential of your business. You might say, this month I want to go for 5 cc. And then once you've written down your whole team, you've broken it down, after putting expected CCs to each and everyone in the team, you might realize you actually have the potential to go for 7 or 10 CCs. So volume mapping will help you see the bigger picture of your business. And in order for you to know how to work with your team, who to give 1 hour a day, who to give 2 hours a day, who to give 1 hour a week, you have to rely on your volume mapping. Let me make this very clear, guys. We are in business. And because we are in business, we need to learn how to work with people who deserve our time, not people who need our time. Almost everybody will be needing your time. And more often than not, most of the people who are trying to get your time are not the ones who deserve your time. So when you do your volume mapping, and if you have someone in your volume mapping that you've mapped that person for 0.3 cc's, really you don't need to spend an hour a day with that person. 30 hours in a month with someone that's expected to bring 0.3 cc's, that's a misuse of your time. And when you misuse your time, it means you'll not be able to grow. You'll not be able to work with the right people. And if your business doesn't grow, guess what? Your team will get demotivated. So at the end of the day, everybody loses, everybody gets discouraged. But if you understand that these are the people that I need to work closely with, and I'll tell you one tip that I got from Jim Rohn, and I've been using it in managing and working with my team, because I have a big team. So what I do is I always want to recognize who are the key people in my team. Who are the people that are currently on fire and they want to move on? They are currently working on some goals. Who are the key people that I'm working with right now? And then those are the people that I want to give the biggest attention. And that means those are the people that will get my calls oftenly. Those are the people that I'll meet them face to face oftenly. Now, you don't ignore the rest of the people who are not doing much. You still keep in touch with them. But because you don't have a lot of expectation from them, you won't push them as much, which is very good. Because if you push someone that's not ready to be pushed, most of the time you completely crush that person. So those people that are not ready right now, and that doesn't mean those people are not good enough for the business. It just means they're not ready right now. And you need people that you can work with right now. When it reaches a time they're ready, you will work with them as well. So the people that are not ready to work the business right now, do your best to meet them in groups. Don't meet them one-on-one. Don't drive all the way to meet someone who is not ready, someone who is not committed, someone who is not putting in any effort. No. Meet them in groups. When you have your CISO, you meet them there. You still hug them. You still give them a big high five. You still look at them in the eyes and say, hey, I know you've got potential. And I understand right now you've got a lot of things going on in your life or in your career, and you are unable to put in as much. But just know one thing, any day you decide to put in the effort, you're going to make it really big. Still give them words of hope. Don't use shame-based leadership. You know, there's shame-based leadership whereby you try to encourage someone by making them feel bad about their performance. Now, that's not going to help, especially with Forever. In Forever, the only way to get someone to do more is by making them feel good. If you talk to someone as if they are losers, as if they're not doing anything, that's what they will keep in their mind, that I'm a loser, I'm not worth it, I can't make it in this business. But if you give them hope, you're going to uplift them. So even if they're not doing that much, you don't ignore them, you don't treat them less. No, you give them less of your time, but you still treat them the same way nicely. So support your team accordingly. So the volume map will help you with that. But also with volume mapping, it will be very rare for people to miss out on qualifying for the next level. Without a volume mapping, I'm telling you, it might reach as the 25th of the month, and then you wake up and realize, oh my God, I forgot. There's someone who did 0.7 cc's last month. This person needs to finish 1.3, and you call that person says, I can't do it in 5 days, I can't do it. And you know for a fact, if I had called this person at the beginning of the month, this person could have missed it. So do it. And do it because you need it, but your team need you as their leader to at least know where you're going. The volume map is what will take you to your success. If you don't plan, as you know, you're planning to fail. So do your volume map. And when you are doing your volume mapping, you know, look at the structure that you want to follow in getting to manager, because at the end of the day, your biggest role in Forever is to help your team get to manager. And whether you're going to use whatever plan you're using to get to manager, but it is crucial, very, very important to make sure that you plan your team to get to manager. And if you are not a manager yet, then you need your own plan to get to manager. You need it. So you have to plan on how you're going to do those CCs. Now, when you do your volume mapping, I don't use pride and high. I use best and worst. I always have best case scenario and worst case scenario. So if I say I'm going to retail 2 CCs, So I know maybe my worst case is 2cc, my best case is 6cc's retailing. I'm going to recruit 2cc's. So I know my best case is, let's say, 2cc's. My worst case is, let's say, 1cc. So you should always have two categories in your mind of your volume mapping, so that you know what is it that you're striving for, but what is your must happen. So that as the month is going, now we've just finished the first 2 weeks of the month. As the month is going, you can get now to your worst case scenario and see, okay, worst comes to worst this month, I must make sure I achieve 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you're doing your volume mapping, I want to go much deeper on volume mapping. When you've mapped your CCs, let's say you've said, I'm going to retail 4 CCs, as the example there is showing, go an extra mile and ask yourself, which activities are you going to do to retail those 4 CCs? Are you going to do some C9 launches? Are you going to visit gyms? Are you going to do tabletops? Are you going to do Facebook ads? And try to estimate how many CCs you're expecting from each activity. Try to estimate. And as you know, any strategy that you have, any marketing strategy, we always recommend you have at least 3 activities running at the same time. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're doing Facebook ads successfully, that's fantastic. But also have 2 more strategies that you're using, so that if one of the strategy doesn't work out, then at least you've got 2 more that can help you to achieve your worst case scenario. So do not miss out. Do not miss out on actually breaking down the CCs. Now, when it comes to sponsoring, if you just say, I'm going to sponsor 2 people, it's not enough. You have to go an extra mile. And I'm going to share something here from the top of my mind, because I use it a lot, and I want you to write it down. I strongly recommend you write it down. You know, sometimes we put goals and we say, I want to sponsor 2 people, but you don't know what activities you need to do in order to sponsor those 2 people. Whenever you put a goal, make sure there is a strategy to achieve that goal. If you just have a goal without a strategy, you're setting yourself for failure. But with God's grace, sometimes you still make it. So I want you to remember this figure. That is from Jane Leach. On her first year in the business, what she came to conclude was, if she calls 48 people, simply to call to ask for an appointment. I'm not talking about doing a one-to-one with 48 people. No, making that initial call that, hey, how are you? Can we meet up? As we've been, training each other on how to invite people to look at Forever. If she calls 48 people, 1 person will join. So if I want to recruit 2 people, I need to be prepared to call 96 people to recruit 2 people. And to make it easy, just make it 50, I get 1. If I call 50 people, if I ask 50 people for an appointment, one of those 50 I call will join my business. So if I want to recruit 2 people, then I have to plan to call at least 100 people this month. And calling 100 people might seem like it's a big number. It's simply 3 people a day. Actually, it's like, let's say 4 people a day. Just 4 phone calls a day to brand new people that you have never called before. You end up recruiting 2 people by the end of the month. So the point that I'm making here is when the month ends, do your volume mapping, know how many CCs this person is going to do, how many you're going to do, but don't just end at CCs. I need you to have a strategy for all those CCs. Even when you're working with your team, if you're planning with someone, if you only plan their goals without planning their activities, it's like you're leaving the goals to chances. And sometimes as leaders, we are somehow uncomfortable to plan the activities because maybe we are unsure ourselves of how many CCs we can expect from those activities. But you better plan something which might not work out than not planning at all. Sometimes we don't want to plan the activities because we are simply, I don't want to use a strong word, but I can't find an alternative. It's just because we are lazy. Because we know if I tell my downline that we're going to do 2 product launches, it means I have to be there and work with that person. So I would rather just say, go and retail 2 CCs. And what I'll be doing throughout the month is calling them, how is your retailing going? Okay, all the best, don't miss the trainings and all that. No. Let's go and get our hands dirty. Let's work with our teams. When you do volume mapping, don't forget to plan the activities and plan with your team. plan with your team. So what I mean by plan with your team, if you have people in the team that you're working with right now, then definitely when you are doing a volume mapping, you need to make sure they are also clear with their volume map. They need to know where they're going. If they don't know where they're going, then it's going to be trouble. This is an example of how you can be planning your business on monthly basis and how you can be having focus on certain people. You can see you are here and you have Claire here and you have John. These are your key people that you're focusing on. So you have them on your map. You are sure that they're also aware of how their mapping is. That way, you are not leaving your success to chances. And you can see here that there are other people that are not doing as much. They will be contributing the extra CCs, but you want to be focusing on the people that you're actually working very, very closely with. So whatever plan that you have, I'd mentioned about 5 CCs and then 10 and then 15 and then 20 and then 30 and then 45 and then 55. Now, if you're going for that goal, you have to put a strategy on how you're going to achieve those goals. If you don't put a strategy, then you've just left the things to chances. And the good thing about volume mapping, or one of the tips on doing a very, very powerful volume mapping is after you have drawn your whole team on paper, start from the bottom. Don't start by saying, I want 50 CCs from my team, and then you look for people who can contribute to those 50 CCs. That's like you using your team to achieve your goal. But start from the bottom, means start looking at your team first. So look at each and everyone in your team and try to see the potential that everyone has in that particular month. And then at the end of the day is when you sum up the CCs and you see where they take you. I normally call that the moment of truth when I'm summing up the CCs. But if you start with a figure in your mind, you might be biased. You might put more CCs on certain people unnecessarily, or while you know for sure they cannot do it, but because you need them. And when you're doing the volume map, don't forget yourself. Don't forget to challenge yourself. Don't put 1 CC on you and then you're putting 4, 5, 10 CCs on other people. No. And after you have done the volume mapping will be of no use if you are the only one who knows it. The people that you're working with, they have to be clear with their volumes. Now, they don't need to see your volume map. They need to have their own volume mappings. Very, very crucial. And while you're planning with them, have confidence and faith and belief that even if someone failed, the past few months, they can perform miracles this month. So have the high expectations. Now, if you set goals and you don't follow them up, most of the times you'll find yourself completely far away from your goals. So make sure you have a day where you are actually checking on the progress of your volume map. You're checking the progress of your team on how they're proceeding with the goals that they've held, because that's the only way you can really get everybody to be accountable. And without checking yourself, you won't remember to check your team. So check yourself, but also check your team. So volume mapping is crucial. It's very, very, very important. And with volume mapping, the aim is to make sure that you are helping everybody in the team. I have this one, I don't know if I should say a rule, but a very, very strong idea. In any given month, if right now you are on fire in your business, or right now you want to see your business taking off like super fast, in any given month, there must be at least one of these 2 occurrences. There must be at least one person in your team who is putting the base for supervisor, or someone that's actually qualifying for supervisor. So if you're not creating any supervisor in September, then there has to be someone in your team who is going for 7 or 10 CCs. If you have that in your mind, you might not achieve that in September, but if you have that in your mind, within 2-3 months, you'll realize every month you're creating a brand new supervisor. And you can imagine if you're creating a brand new supervisor every month, even if they're on the same line, but you have one new person that has the potential to get to manager. And in order for you to achieve that, you always need to be doing volume mapping, because that's the only way where you can actually look at your team and see, who now can I focus on for supervisor in the next maybe 2-3 months. Very, 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 very crucial. Okay. Yeah. And you should be very fast when you're working on your volume mapping. Sometimes you realize that you planned for someone to do 4 CCs and they have an emergency. Maybe they got sick. So you need to be very quick and seeing what can I do to replace these CCs that I'm going to lose. Be quick to do that. And don't put on your volume mapping people that are not doing anything. Only put FBOs that are actually working their business right now, because you will need to meet these people or at least have a call with them. So be sure not to put people that are not doing anything, but you're just putting them so that you can feel good that I have a volume mapping of 20 cc's, while in actual fact you have one for only 5 cc's. So as I had mentioned earlier, love everybody, hug everyone, give high five to everyone, but that one-on-one time, please keep it, let it be for the people that actually deserve it, because otherwise you are going to drown the ship and you're going to drown with it. And you want to make sure that as you're planning your business, you are growing so that one day you can achieve the incentives. And there's some few key things that we all need to remember. One is 5 key legs. 5 key legs. If you don't have 5 key legs right now, then keep recruiting until you get to a point where you have 5 key legs. Because you need to have 5 key legs in order for you to have a strong business structure. If you want to go for chairman's bonus, if you want to go for ego manager, all those incentives, they will need you to have about 5 key legs that you're working on right now. If you want to go for senior manager, you need to have at least 2 managers directly. And if you want to have those 2 managers, you bet you need to have more than 5 key legs that you're working with right now. And when you're doing all those activities, there are certain habits that we need to remember as leaders in Forever. There are certain attitudes, there are certain character that we need to develop as leaders in Forever. Number one, all the leaders in Forever, they are committed to doing more than the minimum. I can tell you, all the people that are doing amazing things, they don't end at 4 cc, guys. They go for 6 cc's and above, 5 cc's and above. And that's why I had introduced the recognition of 4 cc by the 25th, so as to encourage or to push more people to go for 5 cc's. But don't relax after you've smashed your 4 cc by 25th. Don't relax. No, push for more. All leaders attend events. Now, I know right now we don't have physical events, but we do have these online trainings. So don't miss out on these online trainings. Set your goals. Be clear on where you want to arrive and be committed to your goals. Don't allow distractions. And we have negative distractions. Those are very easy to deal with. But then we have positive distractions. These are very good things, but they're still interfering with your business. Be careful with the positive distractions. These are not catastrophic, mistakes, no, but they still interfere with your journey to your dreams. And all leaders, they are committed to prospecting and recruiting every month. I can tell you, I don't know, I can count the months that I have not recruited. In my Forever life, I can count the months that I have not recruited. Almost every month I recruit. Even if it will just be someone with a minimum order, but I've recruited. I've added a new possibility. Because every person that you recruit, I tell you one thing. One of the reasons why sometimes people don't recruit oftenly or consistently is they think the biggest benefit of recruiting is the bonus that they make from recruiting, the recruiting bonus. That's like the least of all. The biggest benefit is the possibility that has come into your business with that new person. That's the biggest benefit. You have no idea that one person will result to how big of a team. You have no idea. So as a leader, you have to be committed to recruiting each and every month. Be willing to go an extra mile. Don't allow yourself to be in the comfort zone. Get out of the comfort zone. Go for your success. And in order for you to have such a sharp mindset, you need to feed your mind with the right stuff. So read books, guys. Let's read books. If you're driving back home every day, we are commuting. If you go to the office, make sure the moment you get into your car, your mobile seminar room text control. That means always have something playing on your mobile phone while you're driving. Listen to trainings. As you're driving, I listen to a lot of audios as I'm driving. I read books. At any given point, I always have a book that I'm reading. A few times I'll get in the middle of the book and then I'll get excited with another book and then I'll continue with another one. but I make sure that I'm always reading the books, because I know if I don't have my mind in the best state, then I will not be able to deliver the best. But as much as we are learning a lot, as much as we are getting all this knowledge, all the knowledge we're getting will not have any impact unless we put the knowledge into action. Unless we put the knowledge into action. So don't aim, and never pressing the trigger. Get into action, leaders. Get into actions. And when you have your goal set, if you know that this month I want to go for 4 cc's, then push it, leaders. Push it. Go an extra mile. Don't allow yourself to give up. Don't allow yourself, don't give up until the very last second. If you have your goal, you push for your CCs until the time where they say, no, we will not receive any more orders. Go for the goals. And be ready to do things that you have never done before. If you have never done an online product launch, go for it. If you have never done a physical product launch, go for it. If you have never done Facebook ads, go for it. And to achieve all those things, the discipline is what will, they say the discipline is the bridge between your present and your dreams. That bridge there is the discipline. And anything called discipline, it's not fun. It's not nice. Every morning that my alarm goes off and I have to wake up early in the morning, either to go read my book or to wake up and go and do my workout, to jog, I'm telling you, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Discipline is not fun, but is what will take us to the success. And that's why they say success, the journey to success is not fun. Forever is an amazing business, but building a forever business, it requires discipline. It requires me and you to think of forever as a business. It requires me and you to be ready, to be committed until we get there. Be committed to learning the system. We've talked about these 8 steps. We've mentioned each and every step we've gone through on these 6 weeks. Learn these steps, get better at them. If you have never done a planning with someone, get better at it. Because you need these skills. You need to get better at doing a business presentation. You cannot depend on your manager. Your manager can only do so much. The only way for you to grow a big business is when you have mastered these 8 steps. When you've mastered the system. If you've mastered the 8 steps, you've mastered the system, then you are definitely independent. You can duplicate yourself much better to your team. Take action. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because I can tell you for a fact, one of the biggest reasons why sometimes we don't grow in the business is not because we don't have the skills. It's because we are too scared to make mistakes. We are worried that we might mess up. No, you can't break forever. You can't just break your business, guys. Let's not worry. Let's go out there. Let's talk to more people. Let's prospect more. Most of the prospecting messages that you're seeing, most of the time, those messages, they were never trained to the first people. Someone had to take courage and say, I'm going to send these messages and see how it is. So throw away all the things that are holding you down and just fly out of your comfort zone and go and experience a brand new territory for yourself. Because I can tell you, if you can focus in forever, 3 to 5 years, really focus. Doing your business each and every day for 3 to 5. I've done that, leaders. I did that. Probably maybe even more than 5 years. That's why I have a strong team. Not because I was gifted, not because I was skilled. No, I was just doing and doing and doing and doing. One of my motto, by the way, is think less and act fast. Think less. I don't mean don't think. Think, but think less. Most of the times we think and overthink and plan and replan without doing. But rather, we just need to plan, you do, and then you review. Go that way. And in everything that's happening in your business, take personal responsibility. Take personal responsibility. If you miss out on 4 cc because you sent an order and you miscalculated, take that personal responsibility. Don't look at your manager. If you're not getting customers, take the personal responsibility. Because when you take personal responsibility, it means you are assuming control. You're taking control. If you're not taking responsibility, it means you are giving control to someone else. Take control of your business. Take control of everything that needs to happen in your business. You know, be sure that as a leader, you're pushing yourself to go into brand new seas that you have never ever been before. Push yourself, because without pushing yourself as a leader, and we are all leaders in this business, without pushing yourself, then things will not happen. And never lose focus on where you're going. Never lose focus. Never lose focus on manager. Never lose focus on the incentives that you want to go for. And you know, because we are constantly bombarded with distractions, then we need to be constantly, you know, reminding ourselves and feeding our dreams. We need to be constantly feeding our mind with the right things so that we remain focused on our dreams. Because I can tell you, you will be distracted. You will be distracted by yourself. Sometimes you're distracted by your past performance. Sometimes you are distracted by your past failures. We will get distracted. And in order for you to remain focused on your goals, on the end result, on where you want to arrive, you need to purposely feed your mind with the right stuff that's going to get you focused. So don't be overconfident and miss out on trainings and never read books and somehow believe you can still remain focused. It's not possible. It's not possible. And if need be, run away from negativity, because the people around you are going to affect you. You want to go for your dreams, you might need to spend only 1 hour a week with some people. When I started the business, I had to be away from so many people, not because I don't love them, but they were a positive distraction. I have someone in my team who had to shift from his home as a young guy. He said, no, I can't stay at home with my parents. They are every day. They are giving me a lot of negativity. I have to be somewhere on my own so that I can grow my business. And then when I've grown my wings and I've flown, I don't mind going back there. So get over your fears. You know, fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is face everything and rise. I love that. Face everything and rise. Most of your success, most of the big things are hidden just behind the fears that you have right now. And when you are ready to go for your dreams and you have it in you, you have it in your heart, you have it in your stomach that no, I'm going to make it happen. I'm not going to allow anything to stop me. I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to make sure I get results, because I'm in business. I have to get results. If I'm not getting results, I have to check what can I change, what can I improve, because I must get results. Results the name of the game, guys. We can't beat around the bush. Results is the name of the game. If you're not getting the results, if you're not on 4 CCs, you're not on 5 CC, you're not getting to supervise, you're not getting to manager, you have to check yourself. What is it that I need to change? There has to be something that needs to be changed. Maybe you need to do a little bit more. Maybe you need to change the way you're working with your team. Maybe you need to watch where you're taking your time. But we have to focus on getting results. We have to focus on going to the top. We have to focus on learning the skills, learn how to communicate about the products, learn how to call people, learn how to chat with people. You cannot go away with a one-to-one. You have to be a master at one-to-one. As a matter of fact, better a person that doesn't know how to do a business presentation than someone that doesn't know how to do a one-on-one. Because if you don't know how to do a business presentation, I mean, at least you can do powerful one-on-ones and get your prospect to the business presentation. But if you don't know how to do a one-on-one, you are missing out a lot. You must learn how to follow up. What techniques can you use on making your follow-up process much more effective? Learn how to plan with a brand new person. You know, on planning, you're not just transferring knowledge. On planning, you're actually giving a platform for that new person to work on. On planning, I had shared some of the messages that I send with the brand new people that I recruited when I'm planning with them, because I need them to get on actions. So learn how you can actually master this business. And in everything that you're doing, when you're communicating with people, yes, have the passion, but do not sugarcoat things. Have integrity. Be authentic. Forever is good enough as it is. You don't need to add anything extra. You don't need to make the stories, the testimonies bigger than the way they are. They are just perfect the way they are. So learn how to communicate. Have your dream goals. You know, put pictures of where you want to take your children. Put pictures of the money that you want to make. Put pictures of your dream house. Because every day you have people that will say things that will diminish your dream. So that's why you need to uplift your minds every day. Every day, listen to something powerful. Every day, if you're gonna do it in the evening or during the day or in the morning, doesn't matter. But every day, listen to something powerful. And when you are running towards your goal, do not expect there will be a time where there will not be challenges. Challenges will always be there. That's why when you're going for your goals, you don't quit. You go over, you go under, whatever it is. You go through a brick wall to make sure that you actually achieve your goal. You know, right now we're in the middle of September, guys. We are in the middle of September, guys. And I don't know how many CCs you have right now in the system. I don't know if right now you have half the CCs that you want to achieve for this month. I don't know. Maybe not. For most, I know it's not. Maybe you are lower than what you, maybe you wanted to do 10 CCs this month, and looking at your system now, you only have 1 or 2. Well, this is the time where you have to show your persistence and consistency and commitment on your goals. Where else can you show your commitment on your goals rather than at the time when the path is so blurry, you're not even sure of where to step? That's when we get to see your faith and your belief in the fact that you can actually do it even if you don't know how to do it. So let's go on our goals. Let's go on our goals. Let's not allow any excuses, because as leaders, we'll always look for results. I'm telling you, Zambia is missing some products right now. Rwanda is missing some products. Tanzania missed the products for 6 months, and we are ordering products from everywhere else because we could not allow ourselves the fact that we don't have products. We did not want that to be the reason for us not to achieve what we want to achieve. Yes, the CCs will be lower, but you want to go an extra mile. You want to say, can I get some products from Tanzania? Maybe I call Enos and see, I want this and this. What can I do? Should we do products exchange? Should I buy from there? You know, be agile. Go an extra mile. Don't allow anything to stop you from reaching your dreams, guys. And if you do all of that, remember, we are in a business where we are driven by love. The power of forever is the power of love. And if you don't have empathy, if you don't have it in you, genuinely in you, if you don't have it in you, that you want to see other people achieving, you want to see other people succeeding, you want to see your team going an extra mile, if you don't genuinely have that in your heart, somewhere along the way, you're going to stumble. You are. Forever is not a business that requires the shrewdness of most businesses. It's not a business where you have to tear others down so that you can be on top. It's not a business where for you to sell, others need to not to sell. No. It's not a business where for you to have an active team, others need to have their teams laying around. No. It's a business where in order for anyone to win, they need to help other people also to have to win. Not just your team, even people that are not in your team. You need to think Zambia right now. You need to think Africa. You need to think forever. You need to go way beyond yourself and your team. Want the best for others. If you genuinely want the best for others, I'm telling you, today when I was driving, one supervisor sent me an audio appreciating something that I did for her. I did something very small for her in February. She was struggling in her business, not because she was lazy, because she didn't have money. You know, she got to a point where she was just getting products from other FBOs. One product she goes and sells, and gives the buying money to the FBO. So she was unable to make her order. So I met her, and she told me, Enos, I want to do the business, but the problem, I don't even have money to do a minimum order. And I told her, only that? Okay, I'm giving you products right now for free. I gave her products worth just about $80, I would say, just $80. And from that $80, right now, she was an assistant supervisor then. Now she's a supervisor. She is recruiting. She just sent me an audio today, very, very heartfelt appreciation, because she got a nice bonus this month. She's retailing about 10 CCs a month now. someone that in February could not even do, she was doing 0 cc's. But I did not help her with the product so that I can get the cc's. That was not even in my mind. That was just me wanting to help her. So when you genuinely care for others, leaders, you will touch other people's lives. And in one way or the other, it will still come back to you. Finally, my dear people, finally, do not live your life into chances. Design the life that you want. Create your vision. Say, where do you want to arrive? Put the goals. What are the stepping stones to get there? What's the strategy? And get on some damn massive action. We have 4 months, 3.5 months to finish 2020, guys. 3.5 months to finish this amazing year. It's up to us. It's up to us whether we're going to go on some crazy massive action or we're going to allow ourselves to get into a victim mentality and say it's Corona and say it's this. No. We can be on top of all of those challenges. Let's take some crazy massive actions right now and build an amazing business. Because the only way we can really get to our dreams is when we forget all the excuses and get into massive actions. We all have the ability to change. So why not? Let's start changing right now, amazing people. Get ready for some massive, crazy activities. I'm going to share this sheet of paper and I would like you to do an honest checklist of yourself. You can grade yourself. You can sit with your upline. You can sit with the cross line to help you grade yourself so that you see how well are you doing on these activities. And then you'll score yourself 1 to 10. And the key thing is not to, to beat yourself up and saying, I'm not doing this. No. The key thing is to simply recognize the areas that you're very good at and recognize the areas that you're not so good at so that you can improve on those. I can tell you, if you're setting your goals, you're tracking your goals, you're set for success. And let me wish you all an amazing, amazing month of September, guys. We want to make this a September to remember. And we want to grow this business. On the last training, I spoke about how important it is to make sure that we focus on growing each and everyone in the team. I want to challenge you to log into your system and list down everybody who made an order last month and give yourself one challenge. Whoever that did an order, challenge yourself to assist that person to do 0.5 cc's more. So if someone did 0.3, challenge yourself that I want to get this person from 0.3 to 0.8. If someone did 1 personal cc's I'm talking about, I want to get this person from 1 to 1.5, just an extra 0.5. And I can tell you, when you map up that extra 0.5 cc's throughout your team, throughout everybody who made an order, you will see some significant changes, significant cc's. Now, as a top leader now, when you are pushing your business, you want to give yourself much bigger goals. So why don't you challenge yourself to grow by 50%? Look at what you did last month. If you did 10 cc's, challenge yourself to go 50% more. That means go for 15 cc's. If you did 7 cc's last month, challenge yourself to grow by 50%. Go to 10.5. If you're not growing, they say you're either green and growing or you are ripe and rotting. And I know we are all green and growing right now. And the biggest enemy to progress is your last success or your last failure. Forget about August. If you did amazing in August, forget about it. We're in September right now. Push yourself. Challenge yourself so that you can have an amazing month of September. Let me say thank you all so very much. We've finished our 6 weeks trainings, and I hope you have learned a ton of things, and I hope you'll have the courage to go and implement. I hope we're going to remember these leadership tips that we've shared today so that you don't go off track, so that you make sure you remain focused on your goals. Thank you all so very much. And we've come to the end of the training. And let me wish you all an amazing month